Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, we will look at a dark and scary topic. We will talk about some of the worst killers in history. If you want to know about true crime and stories that shocked the world, this video is for you. Let's learn about these real-life monsters together. Are you ready? Let's start now.
1. D for DV and his car.
Hey guys, take a look at this Tesla. It seems normal, right? Maybe a little dusty, but that's it. But what if I told you that inside this seemingly ordinary car was a decomposing body? The case is not solved yet, but it is very popular. I want to give an update to those who are interested in this story about D4VD, a young and famous artist, into the headlines. I bet you've heard his music, or at least his hit song, Here With Me. Now, his name is making news not for his music, but for a mysterious case. This video will explain all.
A 15-year-old girl named Donna lived with her father, and ever since her mother died, she depended on her father for everything. One day, Donna's father left for a business trip and said he wouldn't be back until later that night. Later that day, Donna got home from school and watched TV, and when the clock struck midnight, she noticed her father wasn't back, so she went to bed. That night, Donna had a dream where she was standing on a busy highway. She then saw her father trying to yell something to her. She couldn't hear him, but noticed he looked sad and was desperately trying to communicate with her. She could barely make out what he was saying, but it sounded like, "Don't open the door." Donovan woke up to someone ringing the doorbell. She then went to the door and looked through the peephole and saw her father's face outside. He was staring right at her, and the doorbell was still ringing. She was about to open the door when she looked through the peephole again and noticed her father's eyes were wide open and he looked terrified. The doorbell then continued ringing as Donna begged her dad to answer. She then yelled, "I'm not opening the door until you answer me." The doorbell kept ringing, but her father refused to answer her. Donna then sat in the corner next to the door crying and listening to the doorbell ringing. She then fell asleep and woke up in the morning. She then got up and looked through the peephole, and her father was still there. She then opened the door and saw something truly horrifying. Her father's severed head was hanging from a nail above the door, and there was a note attached to the doorbell that said, "Clever girl."
The body of a missing 15-year-old girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, was found in a Tesla registered to the popular singer D4VD. The car was discovered in a tow yard in Hollywood, where workers noticed a bad smell coming from the vehicle. The victim had been missing since April 2024. The police have not named D4VD as a suspect, but there are some interesting links. D4VD and Celeste both had a shish tattoo. Celeste's mother said her boyfriend's name was David. An unreleased D4VD song was titled Celeste. D4VD's team has cancelled the rest of his tour, and he is cooperating with the police investigation. The cause of death is still unknown, and the case is still under investigation. But you know what? He wrote some lyrics like this in one of his songs.
She died in the back of my mind. I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear.
In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I
wanted you to feel the emotion in this part of the song, not just to repeat the hook, but to say it in a different manner with the same feeling that the first part of it conveyed, which was in the back of my mind, but then you think that I'm going to say you died, but I say I killed you. So it's not like the thought of her is gone by itself was something that she did, it was something that I decided to do. And I killed her in the back of my mind. It's really more of a figurative I killed you, especially in the back of my mind. I try to stress that in the back of my mind. It was all in the mind because that's the most secure place you can be is in your mind.
I bet his lawyer is furious, wondering why he would write lyrics like that. This case is still a mystery. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
2. Hello Kitty case.
Some stories are incredibly sad and horrifying. The Hello Kitty case is one of them. It's a true and very dark story that happened in Hong Kong. It shows how a woman named Fan Manyi, who had a very hard life, met a terrible end. This case is famous for its shocking and brutal details, and it reminds us of the terrible things some people can do. This video will explain.
Let's talk about the Hello Kitty case. Fan Benyi lived a very hard life and, unfortunately, her life came to a brutal ending. She was put on an orphanage when she was young, and when she was 15 years old she escaped the orphanage and became a prostitute. And then, when she was 20 years old she finally left that lifestyle behind. She met a man and had a child with him, but unfortunately, he was abusive towards her. When she was 23, she finally left him and started working at a nightclub called the Empress Karaoke Club. It was at this club where she met notorious gang member Chan Manlok. Fan Banyi ended up stealing some money out of his wallet at that time, which did not go very well. He demanded she return the money, and she did right away. But he also demanded that she pay him back a very large sum as an additional fee. She told him that she would bring him back the fee, but she needed some time to be able to get that money, because she didn't have any money. Not long after this, on March 17, 1999, Fan Banyi was abducted by 3 men and 1 girl from her home and was taken to an apartment in Hong Kong. The individuals who kidnapped her worked for Chan Man-lok, 2 of his male friends, and 14-year-old girl whom they were having relation with at that time. They initially planned on keeping Fan Banyi tied up in that apartment and pimping her out in order to make money from her. They keep her tied up in the apartment for 1 month before she unfortunately passed away during her month that she tied up in prison. In that apartment they did unthinkable things to Fan Banyi. They would beat her, feed her drugs, urinate on her around April 14th or 15th, 1999. After a month being locked on this apartment and tortured, Fan Banyi passed away due to the injuries that she had inflicted on her. But the evil didn't stop there. The 4 individuals who had kidnapped Fan Banyi in the first place took her body and dismantled it. They threw some of her remains in the trash. They took her skull and boiled it and then put it inside a Hello Kitty doll and sewed the doll back up. And that is how this became known as Hello Kitty case. That's all, and stay safe out there.
This tragic story is a difficult one to hear, but it serves as a powerful and sad reminder. The cruelty shown in this case is a clear example of the worst human behavior. It tells us to be aware of the dangers that exist in the world. It is a story we will never forget. What do you think? Subscribe, I will protect you.
3. Joseph Fritzl.
On the 28th of August 1984, a mother told the police that her daughter was missing. They looked for the girl, but they could not find her. The mother did not know that her daughter was living just 6 meters below her home, in a dark basement. This is the terrible story of Joseph Fritzl.
This man locked his daughter in a homemade prison for 24 years. This is Joseph Fritzl, and he could arguably be the most evil man in history. His daughter just turned 18, and instead of going to college or meeting new friends, he decided to take all of her privileges away from her. He created a soundproof basement inside of his home and trapping her there. It was in this basement that for the next 24 years, she would be held a prisoner in her own home. While she was held captive, he repeatedly assaulted her and even made her father 7 children from him. Keep in mind, this is her father. Joseph's wife, who lived on the 2nd floor of the home, claimed that she had no idea that this was going on for 24 years. You mean for 24 years, you didn't ask about the daughter? You didn't ask why he was in the basement? I mean, really? He was caught in 2008 and sentenced to life in prison, and this is where things get interesting. As of January 2024, he has severe dementia and requested to be moved to a regular prison. The request was denied, but the courts did say he is no longer a threat to humanity. I say keep him where he's at and throw away the key. Make sure to like and follow for more videos tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe in my ears. Senbin children, under a basement? He is literally a real-life evil. It is hard to believe that a man could do such a thing. After all those years, the daughter was finally saved in 2008. She and her children are now safe and live with new names. They are trying to have a normal life. This story shows us how bad some people can be.
4. Linda May.
This is the story of Linda May, a real-life witch with a depraved obsession. To the world, she was just a gentle widow living on a small farm in Iowa. But behind her soft voice and kind smile lay a horrifying secret that led to the disappearance of at least 17 people.
This was the most evil woman to ever live. Her name was Linda May. She was born in 1923 in a small town in Iowa. To everyone, she seemed like a quiet widow. She had a little farm and spoke with a soft, kind voice. But between 1950 and 1971, at least 17 people went missing near her land. Hitchhikers, traveling salesmen, even a police officer just vanished. Nobody thought it could be Linda. The police believed wild animals or accidents by the river were to blame. But But everything changed in 1972 when her barn caught on fire. Firefighters broke down a sealed wall inside, and what they saw was terrifying. 5 metal chairs bolted to the ground with straps for arms and legs, a rusty sink with dried blood in the drain, and shelves of glass jars filled with fingers and other body parts. When the police arrested her, Linda didn't even look scared. She smiled and said, "I gave them a home, and they gave me company." She died 5 years later in her jail cell. But the worst part, only 7 victims were ever found. Linda had a notebook. Inside were 17 names, each one crossed out. No one ever found the rest.
I can't fathom why no one suspected Linda May. With her chilling smile and piercing eyes, she looked like the grandmother from the game Granny. Be careful with your neighbors. I'll protect you.
5. The Masked Man.
Do you know what's scarier than a criminal? A criminal who has not been caught. The Masked Man, also known as the Cruel Man, was a criminal from Australia who went into people's homes and did terrible things. He was not caught for a long time, and his story is a chilling reminder of the dangers that can exist in the world.
Let's talk about
The Masked Man.
before we start. Can you follow me on Roblox? Thank you, and happy Easter Day. This masked man, aka the Cruel Man, that was a man from Australia who was a bad guy that goes into people's houses and do something disturbing to them. In the year 1987, there was this family who was in a hard business, and after a few days, they spotted a masked man that was trespassing in their house. And before they even called the police, the masked man acted quickly and killed the phone and held a GN pointing to their heads. And then the masked man tied the son into the bed and hid the D30 body of their parents, and he pet their daughter every day. And bro, he was so gruesome. He wasn't arrested till this year. He was still doing all of this bull 20 for years, and the cops doesn't even care about it. I just hope he gets arrested for it. That's all, guys, and stay safe.
I always wondered why my grandma told me to check under my bed before I went to sleep. After watching this video, I know why. This man committed horrible acts and was free for years. His story shows us that we should always be careful and aware of our surroundings. Thank you for listening, and please, stay safe out there.
6. Who's laughing now?
This is the story of Victor Lane, a man who became like a real-life Pennywise. People in his town were mean to him. Because of their bad actions, a kind man became a monster. This video will explain detail.
What locals did to this man's family was pure evil. This was the real-life Pennywise. In 1954, Victor Lane was a kind clown who performed at the Black Hollow Carnival in a small Ohio town. But Victor's life had always been full of pain. As a child, he lost his family in a mysterious fire that destroyed their home. The townsfolk called it an accident, but Victor overheard men joking about how the freaks got what they deserved. Despite his scars, Victor became a clown to bring happiness to others. But Black Hollow never welcomed him. They called him Creepy Smiley and spread rumors behind his back. One October night, a group of boys at the carnival decided to humiliate Victor. They set his tent on fire during his performance, destroying his props and leaving his face badly burned. The crowd laughed as Victor stumbled into the woods, his costume in tatters. After that night, the town changed. Children began disappearing. Parents would find red balloons tied to their doors or balloon animals on their porches. The mayor's son vanished after a balloon was tied to his mailbox. Some claimed they saw Victor's shadow in the woods, his smeared makeup and scarred face visible under his tattered mask. A search party found a shack deep in the forest with old carnival props, burned family photos, and a mirror etched with the words, "Who's laughing now?" But Victor was gone. Now, every October, red balloons appear around Black Hollow. Locals say it's a warning. Victor hasn't forgotten, and the clown of Black Hollow always returns. And every year, someone disappears.
We are often scared of bad people. But in this story, I do not think the clown was the real bad person. The people in the town were very cruel to him. Their actions changed him and led to a terrible end. What do you think? It is always good to be kind to everyone. If not, you might meet a killer clown yourself.
7. Crow Family.
This is the story of the Crow family. a family that lived in a small town. People were very mean to them because they looked different. The people in the town tried to hurt them, but the family survived. After that, they became a big problem for everyone.
This cursed family took the lives of over 1,000 people. This is the true story of Wrong Turn. In the 1950s, in the small town of Ravens Hollow, Ohio, there was a family called the Crow family. The Crows lived in an old house on the edge of Ravenwood Forest. People in town hated them because of their looks, saying they were strange and didn't belong. One night, the townspeople set fire to their house, thinking they were getting rid of a curse, but the Crow family survived. They disappeared into the forest, angry and broken. From that day on, they swore revenge. Years later, people began to vanish near Ravenwood Forest. Hikers, travelers, even townsfolk. Survivors say the Crows hunt and eat people as payback for what the town did to them. They hunt anyone who enters the forest, setting deadly traps, pits lined with spikes, hidden bear traps, and hanging wire nooses. They laugh when they hunt, and they drag their victims underground to eat them. The only thing they leave behind is a bloody crow feather. In the 1980s, a girl named Emily escaped after her friends disappeared while camping. She said the crows whispered as they chased her, "You burned us, now we burn you." Today, no one goes near Ravenwood Forest. Locals say you can still hear laughter and snapping twigs in the dark. If you see a crow feather at the forest's edge, don't go in. The Crow family is still waiting, hungry for revenge.
What do you think about this story? Comment below and let me know. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.